Well, the crypto weekend is upon us yet again, and there are a few surprises that you need to be aware of if you are going to be trading in the market this weekend. Let's get into it. Road Dog Crypto. Welcome back to the Road Dog Weekend Crypto Market Watch, covering the dates from June 9th to the 13th, giving you that little extra foresight that may help you make better trades over the weekend. But before we jump into the charts, I want to give a quick shout out to one of my favorite YouTubers. I'm actually rocking his merchandise as we speak, and oh, so soft. Duh, man. Who is this vendor? Really good quality stuff. And I'm talking about none other than my boy, Dub Digital, who takes us the TA and the FA and he mixes it all up. Dub, I cannot thank you enough for turning me on to Osmosis and to Art Punks 1 year ago at the very beginning. Guys, if you're looking for news on the macro trends in crypto, check out his channel, give him a like and a follow. Now, what you've been waiting for? On to the charts. So the first thing we want to look at is the dollar index, the DXY, because the dollar is showing some strength. And when the dollar is strong, Bitcoin suffers. And when Bitcoin suffers, damn it, we all suffer. Now, Bitcoin is in a rising wedge formation. These have a tendency to break to the downside almost 7 out of 10 times. How high is this going to go? Because if it does break out of this trend line with this pattern formation, anything that goes above it and closes can go parabolic. And that is something we definitely want to look at, because if we zoom out and look on the weekly, if we break into this trend pattern, we're going a lot higher. That could be bad for the stock market and for crypto. However, if we come back to the daily, look at this pattern one more time. We do have our Fibonacci retracement up here, the 618 at 103.58. Chances are good that we could go up here and then we will take a downturn, travel into the Ichimoku indicator, which could indicate a possible downtrend. Now, this is not something that's going to happen over the weekend. It looks like that we'll be going for about another week before we actually see this play out. Keep that in mind. Over the weekend, we could see a rise. It is flirting with that top level now. So keep your eyes on the dollar index. If it does start going up, a good time to kind of slow down on Bitcoin and wait for the price drops. All right, the second area that we must take a look at for this weekend is Bitcoin dominance, which has just broken trend and going to the downside, which kind of falls in line with what we just looked at with the dollar index. The dollar is going up, Bitcoin dominance will come down. Now, on the plus side, maybe not so great for Bitcoin. We'll get into that in just a second, but could that be good for Ethereum and the altcoins? Traditionally, when Bitcoin dominance does start breaking down, we do see a rise in the altcoin values, both in the stablecoin value and also in the BTC area. So your altcoins could be gaining against Bitcoin over the weekend. Now, Bitcoin dominance is flirting with breaking into the green area of the Ichimoku. We don't yet see any red, so I'm not taking that as a very serious sign. Bitcoin dominance is also in a bearish channel, and we'll take a measured move from that to give us an idea about where we could possibly be going down to, and we will mark that. And that's where our measured move takes us down to about 46. I do have this area right here measured out also, takes us down to a bottom trend line, which is more than likely what is happening, that we're getting a drop and probably going to retest this before taking a bounce back up. So altcoins could be looking good this weekend, might be something to take advantage of. And speaking of altcoins, let's take a look at the total too, because that will tell us what altcoins are doing. Everything outside of Bitcoin, we are in a bullish channel, and this one also has a 7 out of 10 chance to break to the upside. Altcoins could be moving up, but whether that happens this weekend or not remains uncertain. You can see with our Ichimoku indicator, we are in position to where we could start digging our way out and making our way up to the top of this trend line, about 645 billion. Just keep in mind that the stochastics are toward the top. They may need to reset a little bit. Things may need to cool off a little bit. At the time of this video, it's late Thursday afternoon, so we do have some room to kind of see how this plays out. The biggest thing to watch, the dollar and Bitcoin dominance, and then that will also reflect into the total too. Now it's time for the star of the show, Bitcoin. And if we take a look on our market cipher indicator, we see we got a red dot. Stochastics are still kind of high. Looks like we do need to cool off. Even our MACD is showing some signs of cooling off. May get a curve here, go to the bearish side. And also the RSI coming down at 45. Anything below 50 is considered on the bearish sides, bears being in control. So on the daily, we're pointed a little bit down. Let's zoom out just a little bit. And as we can see, we broke out of this falling wedge pattern, came down, retested it, and started going to the upside. On the daily, we are still under the Ichimoku, but the good news about it is we're getting closer to where we're going to start testing and working our way up into this red cloud. That's signs that we're heading for an up direction. Now let's just zoom out a little bit and see if we can find a bigger pattern that we might be in. So I will take this trend line. I'll connect these top 3 wicks here. I will then copy that, keeping the trend line's angle, pulling it right here. And there is our new internal trend line. Positive side here is that we do have a break to the downside where it broke back in. That does give us a little edge for hopefully coming to the upside. Usually when they break to the bottom, there is a move toward the upside where it will come and possibly do a bull trap at the top or continue on. We have to wait and see. But at the moment we're looking for this weekend, we could come back and test this trend line. If you are planning on trading Bitcoin this weekend, I do have some entry points right over here where I expect Bitcoin to touch. If we break below this line, we'll come down here, touch that one. Same thing here. If we break below there, there's our next entry point. Dollar cost average ends, lay your buys in, and set your exit points. I've got here at 31,203, 31,771, and 32,097. Now, the big thing that we got to look for Bitcoin, we need Bitcoin to break above 32,000, and we need Bitcoin to hold that. That's the only way that we're going to validate that we are getting a move to the upside. Otherwise, we're trading sideways for a hella long time. Let's take a quick look at Ethereum. Ethereum is actually into a bullish pattern, has a 7 out of 10 chance to break into the upside. Now, will that happen this weekend? That is yet to be seen. Our stochastics are still toward the top, but it's possible that they could get pinned there and we make a move to the upside. Now, if it does break out of this pattern, that one does have a tendency to go parabolic. Measure move of a breakout to this pattern should take us up to our 3rd exit point. However, be aware that the Ichimoku is still working its way down and still getting thick. The actual move for this, I don't believe will come this weekend, but do keep your eye on it just in case. But if it comes down, we just get it at a better price. And if it breaks out, happy days. Entry points I have for ETH or B as low as 1465. If we do see that over the coming weeks, 1529, 1578, and of course the 2021 bottom, which we will probably flirt with over this weekend, 1703. So the low 1700 is what we can be looking at for this weekend. If we get lucky, get that break up, our exit points could be 1881, $1,936, $1,991. On a plus note for Ethereum, it does look like we are working up some bearish divergence, which would give us that edge to the upside. We just have to wait to see what happens. Is this stochastic RSI going to get pinned up there as we get a move to the upside this weekend or early next week? And that's what we got to keep an eye on this weekend while Wall Street is away playing at the Hamptons and when they come back early next week. That's my weekend wrap up. Hope you guys stay safe trading this weekend. My name is Lane, your crypto road dog. Remember to stay positive, be blessed, and you got this, baby. Road Dog Crypto.